It's Dorm Room Sports Chat. I'm your host, Emmy Comia, with analyst Evan Murray, UATV Sports Director Joey Petrello, and analyst Salva Carmona. Dorm Room Sports Chat starts right now. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Dorm Room Sports Chat. I'm your host, Emmy Comia, and I'm joined tonight by our three analysts, Salva Carmona, Evan Murray, and Joey Petrello. Tonight we preview Arizona basketball's upcoming season with predictions for next weekend's Arizona football game, and we'll follow with an Arizona Wildcat sports report, along with an NFL West Coast score rundown. Finally, we'll finish off with 30 seconds. Arizona basketball is right around the corner, and the annual Red vs. Blue game is set to tip off next Sunday at 2. Evan, Solomon Hill is switching his role from a low post player to a small forward guard position. How prepared is he?
Well, Solomon Hill to me has definitely displayed what it takes to work hard in the off season. I was talking to him at media day. He's cut out all fast food, late night snacks, everything like that. So he's trimmed his body down. He's lost 6 pounds, but his body fat percentage and how much smaller you can really see him form into as a guard is nice. He's kind of, not to be. He was a little chubby almost he played a bigger role last year.
He was power forward, so
right.
he had to be big. He had to be
bigger. So he's slimmed down a lot, mentally sharp as ever. So I think Solomon Hill will really adjust to that position perfectly. And he's going to be a mismatch nightmare for other teams because you have a 6'7" guard. How is a 6'3" guard supposed to guard
match
that?
Up with somebody like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, he'll just be shooting over everybody. Yeah. And, he's shot, 39% from the three-point line last year. So, great three-point shot. So,
yeah, I don't think there's much to worry about with Solomon Hill here. He was 2011 all first Pac-12 first team, and he's in the best shape of his life right now. 13.0 points per game last season, and he's slimmed down a lot. Last season, he scored 12. He was 72.8% from the free throw line, so he's got to improve on that, as do a lot of the other Wildcats. Their free throw shooting has to get better. But other than that, I don't think you have much to worry about with Solomon Hill. He's going to be one of the key leaders of this team. It's his senior year, and I expect a lot of big things from Solomon Hill this season for the Arizona Wildcats.
Yeah, so do I. Especially now that he's a senior, and somebody has to step up in the leadership role with all these new young kids. Mm-hmm. So I totally agree with that. And yeah, 6'7" shooting guard. Last year we had Brandon Lavender. He was 6'5", but just 2 extra inches could definitely make a huge difference against like Evan said. Outmatch other people.
And he is going to play the small forward position as well. So it just really gives. They kind of almost don't know where he's going to go because he's so versatile and
he could play whatever.
Yeah, right. Because he was a 4/even 5 sometimes last year. So you have so many options with him, and I'm telling you, he is. Sean Miller's always been he has the most nothing. Made him get this motivation. It's definitely come within, and so that's really going to show in his game, I think, this year.
Yeah, he's been on the team all 4 years, played all 4 years, so I don't think you have much to worry about with Solomon Hill here, and I'm looking forward to see what he does this season for Arizona.
Absolutely.
All right, Salva, Sean Miller has brought in 5 new exciting players. What can we expect from the new guys, as well as the sophomores, Nick Johnson and Angelo Chol?
Well, we bring the 3rd best recruiting class according to ESPN. So we're expecting quite a bit. Anything that, if something like what happened last year happens this year, it will be a total disappointment. So from the new guys, we expect more defense and especially less of the court stuff like we had last year. So that's definitely one of the things that Arizona should be good in. Also defense. Really have to improve their outside shooting and the free throw percentage. Last year was pretty low. And about the sophomores, Angelo Chol and Nick Johnson, more maturity and take a bigger role in the team, especially with all these new young kids. So more of a leadership role in the terms of, from them.
Yeah, and just so you guys can kind of understand, Grant Jarrett's come here already, gained 15 pounds, obviously kept body fat just the same. Gabe's gained 5 pounds. Brandon Ashley's body fat percentage went from 19% to just under 10. So, I mean, that's huge.
It's
and
impressive, yeah.
Drsc added 30 pounds and has 8% body fat. So that's the dedication that we've seen from these freshmen so far, and the chemistry seems, even just from being at Media Day, seems so much different from last year. They're focused. I mean, they have so many leaders, like even Nick Johnson as a leader. I mean, he's taken Gabe York under his wing. They say they're the exact same person. I mean, that's the type of things you want to see in a basketball team, though. Everyone who gets along, hangs out with each other, and
good chemistry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the only thing I have to add to that is another thing that the new kids have to add to the team. I mean, that's just a fact. It's the size. I feel like last year we definitely lacked in size. And now we bring a lot of bigger guys, so I think that will be really huge for Arizona.
Great size, and you were also saying that they're all having fun with each other now. They had that trip to the Bahamas, if anyone can remember, that Sean Miller noted helped out the team chemistry in his press conference. Also, Sean Miller mentioned that Angelo Chol and Caleb Tarzuski would be a good pair on the court this year, along with Grant Jarrett and Brandon Ashley. So look out for those two pairs this year. Angelo Chol, last season, 12.1 average minutes per game. That's going to go way up. I don't expect him to play only 12 minutes anymore. No. He's going to be in at least for 30, I would say, or at least 25. So I'm looking forward to these guys playing more, stepping up, and showing what they really can do for Arizona basketball.
And I didn't mention Angelo Chol and the weight or the body percentage, but we saw him at Media Day. This dude is huge now. He's filled out so much, and so I mean that's a great thing to see from him because everyone thought he was like wiry and not quite there as a center position, but he looks great. He's big. And so, I mean, that'll be really helpful also.
And a number that I expect to go up for Nick Johnson, he only shot 67.9% from the free throw line. That's got to go up, so I expect it to.
Yeah, especially from a guard, you expect at least 90%.
Yeah.
So.
And thankfully, we have the center position, the low post, so stacked that, I mean, free throws, you need to make them. But at the end of the day, we're not looking for – Nick Johnson's amazing on defense. So are we looking for a whole lot of point production from him? Probably not. But
still, though, 67.9% has got to go up. A lot of games are won and lost by free throws, so
that's right.
It's got to go up.
All right, Joey, Arizona basketball lost 3 key players from last season. These 3 players were Kyle Fogg, Jesse Perry, and Brandon Lavender. Who do you expect to be the most influential leaders this season?
Well, I've got to go with Solomon Hill, Kevin Parham, and Mark Lyons. I know that Mark Lyons is new, but Sean Miller noted numerous times throughout that press conference that he expects Mark Lyons to be a big-time leader for this Arizona basketball squad. He's the point guard, he's the quarterback, so I expect those 3 guys to be the main leaders. Kevin Parham, he's been through a lot, especially with that gunshot wound from last year. Everybody knows his story on the team. And a lot of people respect him and Solomon Hill. So those 3 guys right there are the 3 key leaders, I think.
And I think we should add in Nick Johnson, too, though. I agree with those 3, definitely. Last year, I feel like leadership was almost non-existent, even though Solomon Hill was our leader and Kyle Fogg was our leader. But, I mean, at the end of the day, close games weren't won, and who picked them all up? Nobody did. And so to me, it was non-existent last year. This year, it seems like there's definitely going to be a role. I mean, many people, Mark Lyons specifically, I think his experience is invaluable. So I'm with you on that. Nick Johnson also, just because from talking to him at Media Day, he said, I'm the most vocal leader. I'll probably talk to you more than anybody. But Kevin and Solomon and Mark are definitely lead by example type of leaders. So we have different leadership, which is, great in any team. So.
And a thing that I think about this Arizona basketball team that's different from the others is they all seem to have their head in the right place right now compared to last year. So that's what I'm also looking forward to this season.
I actually think that what you just said, which I totally agree with, is that will make the biggest difference from this year, like last year's to this year.
A huge part of sports is just the mental aspect
exactly.
of it all.
So if we're good up above the shoulders, we should be good.
Yeah.
The rest, because we do have a team to be competitive.
And they do have talent, but based off last year, they showed that the game is not all talent. You have to have chemistry, and everybody has to be in the same place. And yes, injuries, you can't those are unpredictable, so you can't fix somebody or prevent somebody from not getting injured. It's just going to happen. But as for just having your head in the right place, having to want to win, having to want to be there and want to be successful is a thing that I think really separates this year's Wildcats basketball team from last year's.
Yeah, and Solomon said, because I asked him about the preseason rankings, we're talking, I mean, everyone's been pretty bold with this Arizona team. We're talking about Final Fours, championships, Pac-12 championship, ranked as high as 7th in the preseason polls. It's not AP yet because they haven't done that.
Right.
But so I asked Solomon about the rankings, and he's like, I had expectations last year. This year there's none, and who cares about rankings? And I completely agree with that because I think last year everyone was pretty wrapped up in it, and it just...
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's not go overboard though. I mean, like last year we were also gonna make the Final Four. I do think we have a better team than last year, but I think that we should, like Solomon Hill said, go day by day, see how the games go. At least wait until like Christmas, and then we'll have a better estimate of how the season could turn out to be.
Right.
Great. When DRC returns, our analysts will give predictions for next week's football game. Don't go away.
I'm Derek Williams, the former U of A Wildcat. You're watching UATV. Don't change the channel.
Then I'll never ever get to me. And if you think that there is shelter in this attitude, where do you feel the warmth of my gratitude? I get the feeling that it's 2 against 1. I'm already fighting me. So what's
Come game time, pressure falls on the shoulders of this season's drum major.
For an entire week, there's golfing, food, drinks, and entertainment that doesn't stop when the sun goes down.
If you are not yet registered to vote, here's what an Arizona voter registration form looks like.
Bundle up, Wildcats, winter is almost here. Reporting from the UA Mall for Wildcats, I'm Shay Sorensen.
Hey guys, welcome back to Dorm Room Sports Chat. Next Saturday, Coach Rodriguez and the Cats will face a difficult challenge in Washington on Family Weekend. Arizona is on a 3-game losing streak and needs this win. Analysts, give us your predictions for the upcoming game.
Well, I think that Arizona definitely can win this game, and it's Family Weekend. There's going to be a big crowd. A lot of people are going to be going to this game cheering on the Cats, bearing down. So I think that Arizona, So I think that Arizona will win 28-23. Also, they need to pick at the weaknesses of UW if they're going to win this game. And UW only averages 186.5 pass yards per game. Their quarterback is Keith Price. Last year, Price was picked off 3 times by Arizona, and 1 was returned for a touchdown. That was Robert Golden's incredible 91 pick-6 return. Also, the Wildcats have to look out for running back Bishop Sankey. Sankey rushed for 144 yards against Stanford and 104 against Oregon, so he's a good runner. And I think that they need to play conservative on the line, stop the run as best they can, and make Keith Price throw the ball as much as possible because he's going to make mistakes.
Absolutely. I am with you definitely on quarterback. He seems to almost fold under pressure. Yeah, crumble under pressure. So put pressure on him, make him make mistakes. He's vulnerable. He's frustrated from the last game. There's so many things you can do to this quarterback to almost win the game for yourself. So it's definitely, I agree with Joey, like it's picking their weaknesses, and they're pretty obvious almost to me. So I have Arizona winning 24-20. I'm pretty confident that Arizona will win the game. It's at home. Like you said, it's a good crowd. Washington's beatable. The only big game they've won is Stanford, which is obviously a good
was an
win.
impressive win.
Right. So not to discredit them, but they're frustrated and they're vulnerable and they're away.
I think it's kind of ironic that you guys say that it'll be a win for Arizona, but you give him a 4-point victory, and Joey, you give him a 5-point victory.
Yeah.
So it's not that obvious then.
Oh, I don't think it's an obvious win. I think this is a very losable game as it is winnable for Arizona.
No, I said it's obvious to. I think
it's vulnerable.
I know. I said Washington's weaknesses are obvious.
Yeah, I got you.
Not that they're obviously going to win.
Did you see the LSU game? That's how you got to play defense against Washington. Not saying that, U of A's defense is of the caliber of LSU yet, but, that's how you play defense against Washington, the way LSU did it.
I agree with that. My prediction for this game, I'll be honest, I'm not quite sure, especially with having the bye week. I don't know if our players are back in good shape or not. And I don't know how their shape is. So I'm kind of not really decided. I'm optimistic about it because we're playing home and we're playing the home crowd. And due to that and the bye week, and I'm assuming that some players will be healed back and Matt Scott will be in good shape, I give the Cats a victory 27-20 against Washington.
Yeah. And this is by no means going to be an easy game. All three of us had the game being very close. Yes. The defense just has to show up. They have to stop Bishop Sankey because that kid is he's great. 144 rushing yards against Stanford, as I said. Yeah. That's hard to do. He's got great legs. He can catch the ball too, so he's a very versatile weapon. They have to take him away and force Keith Price to make the Keith Price mistakes that he's used to making.
I agree. I do believe that they've lost games that they should have won. They've won games they should have lost. Same thing with Arizona, except for the Oregon game. But the last couple of games, Oregon State and Stanford, we could have won those games. We lost them. So I think it's a really hard game to predict. I do hope that Arizona pans out and wins the game.
Yeah, I feel like Washington and Arizona are almost at the same spot in their season. So it's like they're both frustrated, but I feel like for Arizona, we had a bye week. We have Washington's weaknesses pegged almost. I feel like and we're at home. I feel like we have things in our favor that normally we don't. It's how close of the game was Stanford, but at the end of the day, we didn't have that many things on our side.
We're supposed to lose that game.
Hurt players. Yeah. We were away. There were so many factors that were against us, but this game, I feel like there is things for us.
I think, I agree with all that you just said, and I think that Arizona can win this game. And the reason I think that is just because of, like you said, exactly the bye week. And that being said, I can be opportunistic. I did have this game at the beginning of the season as a win for Arizona, so I really hope it works out. I also had Oregon State, but I definitely missed on that one.
And we've seen every single week besides Oregon that Arizona could hang with any football team they play. So I think it's just all going to come down to finishing and just exploiting Washington's weaknesses. They've had the bye week to prepare for it. They've had this bye week to heal up their injuries, so hopefully Kyle Quinn and Jared Tevis will be back in there because those guys are just huge presences in the lineups.
Right.
So, I think this is a very, very winnable game for Arizona.
All right, stay tuned for the Wildcats Sports Report and the NFL West Coast Rundown after this commercial break. Stay tuned.
I'll be right there. cameraman. You're my hero.
Welcome back, Arizona fans. We now give you the Wildcat Sports Report. Over the weekend, the number 19 Wildcat hockey team went on the road and swept number 11, Illinois. Next Friday, the Cats will go on the road again to face the number 1, Ohio. Moving on to Arizona softball. Last night in the Arizona Fall Classic, the Lady Cats enjoyed a mercy rule victory over South Mountain in Central Arizona. The Classic concludes tonight, and on Friday, the women's volleyball team went to 3-1 for a win against Colorado. Now for the NFL West Coast rundown, the Arizona Cardinals lost their second straight game. They fell to the Buffalo Bills at home 19-16. The San Francisco 49ers lost to the New York Giants 26-3 at home. The Seattle Seahawks pulled off a 24-23 upset win at home against the New England Patriots, and the Oakland Raiders fell 23-20 on the road to the Atlanta Falcons. Finally, the San Diego Chargers will play Monday night at home against the Denver Broncos. All right, we're going to take another quick commercial break. When we return, we'll finish off the show with a game of 30 seconds. Don't change the channel.
Hi, it's David Hasselhoff, the Hawk. Get Hawk with UATV. Stay tuned. Don't change the dial.
Well, it's that time again, everyone. Evan, you're up first for your 30 seconds. Go for it.
All right, I'm going to talk about Smush Parker and Kobe Bryant. So, Smush Parker was talking about how Kobe was a bad teammate, snobby, wouldn't talk to him, ruined his 2005 to 2007 seasons. So, Kobe calls Smush Parker the worst, and Smush Parker's been out and crying about it, which I kind of agree. I mean, Kobe Bryant is harsh, and then Kobe said, I'd rather be known as a winner than a good teammate. So that's Kobe Bryant for you, everyone.
All right, Salva, you have 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. So after the RG3 today, yeah, he had 4 touchdowns, 2 rushing, 2 passing. But I gotta say, RG3 is my starting fantasy football quarterback. However, I do not think he'll last in the game. I don't think he'll have a long career. So I gotta say that because he's prone to injury, and after seeing him play in the last couple of weeks, those quarterbacks that kind of scramble out of the pocket and cannot wait inside, I'm sorry, but I just feel like your career will not last as long as it should, even though you're great.
Joey, you're the last one. 30 seconds on the clock.
Well, anyone, camera, over here. Thank you. Hello. Anyways, okay, so 30 seconds. Anyways, Yankee fans, I'm sorry. Derek Jeter, fractured ankle. He's going to be out for the next 3 months, and the Yankees will be out for the next 6 until spring training, pinstripers. Why? Because nobody else on the Yankees is clutch enough to carry them through right now. And, I mean, Ichiro and Raul Ibanez are, I guess, but Derek Jeter is just the piece of that puzzle that holds everything together, and who's going to replace him? A-Rod? No. Sorry, Yankees.
All right, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Dorm Room Sports Chat. We'll be back next week, so don't miss out. Oh.